Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome back to Raising Them Simply. Here we share all about our secular homeschool as a family of 5. Today we're going to be chatting about a new preschool resource that we are starting this fall. If you are new here, I have a almost second grader. I have a preschooler. She will be 4 in November. And then I've got a toddler running around in the mix. I'm also a part-time working mom as a nurse. So this channel is everything about our homeschool and how we make it work for our family. So if any of that interests you, please hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos, but let's jump into it. So I actually got notified of this program, Purposeful Preschool from the Waldock way, from the Mindful Homeschooler here on YouTube and Instagram. I will leave her channels linked down below, but we have talked multiple times because we have similar philosophies when it comes to homeschooling, and our children are about the same age, and we both have older children as well. And she is also a part-time working mom. So you should check her out. Her channel has some great resources. But she posted about this, and I realized that it was a lot of the stuff that was missing from some of the stuff that we were doing with my preschooler, and I really liked how this was set up. So right now for preschool, we're doing it very light. We're doing the pre-reading from All About Reading, and then we're also doing Preschool Math at Home by Kate Snow. She is the author of Math with Confidence, and then just lots of play. And she's kind of around when we're doing school with my oldest, so she'll sit along on read alouds and stuff, but we're only really intentionally doing very basic stuff for reading and math with her. And we do morning menus, and I was piecing together all these different worksheets and stuff to put in the menus to kind of help. And I always felt like I was scrambling to try to find stuff because I'm pretty cheap, and I was trying to find the cheapest way for me to do this, which meant downloading things on Canva or different free worksheets and stuff. And it was just more stressful than it needed to be. And so when I looked into this, I realized that it was a lot of what I was looking for. So when I don't have everything in this resource, for this resource printed out, she's got tons of stuff, but these are the things that I've got set up so far that I wanted to show you guys. So what I did is she has these worksheets, and all of her stuff is based on like games. So for the letter A, for example, you take this and your child's supposed to put different objects in here to make the letter. So like pom-poms, beans, beads, whatever you would like. I did separate these out between capital letters and lowercase letters. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep doing it that way. That is the way that the pre-reading is set up, to do capital letters, then teach the lowercase. I'm not sure if we're going to do that next year, but I should also bring this up. This was brought up to my attention in a different video that I recently watched on another channel, but we teach reading and letters and stuff through a Montessori type lens, meaning we teach the sounds, not the letter names. So for the pre-reading for All About Reading, they teach capital letters then lowercase as separate. I'm gonna dig into that a little bit more to try to figure out the science behind why they separate that out, but we teach it as the sound. So for this worksheet, they put different objects in here to just kind of play with the letter. And then this back one, she has the letter for how you could do those little tiles, and so they're supposed to match in here. So I went ahead and I put these in laminated page protectors, so that way I could just take out the letter for that day, and then the sheets are protected, and I could stick it back in the binder. So I did that for all of the capital letters, and then I separated the lowercase out separately like I mentioned. But I just set it here so that way future me doesn't have to worry about anything, and it's all set up. So this is one of the things that I really, really liked about this, because I don't have to plan anything. I don't have to second guess anything. And I would love to be the mom that would be able to come up and create all these things by myself, but especially since I also work, I don't want to worry about doing any of that. So I would gladly pay someone to do that upfront work for me. When I separated these out, I also did these little sections with pocket folders, and these are little dot marker worksheets. So these are one of the things that my daughter really liked, that I was piecing together in different worksheets for her to do every time we did a new letter. So I really like that this came with it as well. And then I just stick them in these little pockets so that they're ready to go when it's time for us to do that worksheet. Another thing that I also liked, and this is something that I think we're gonna stick in our morning menu. My plan is to do a letter a week, and so she can do her morning menu over and over again to get recognition, but these worksheets have different things in here, and all of these have sounds that start with something else. So obviously there's a butterfly and a bear here, so she could circle both of them because that's what it sounds like, but then there's other things in there to make it so that your child has to kind of look at it a little bit more. And then she has these worksheets as well where they can trace the letter, they can color in things. This one has a bell. And then you have to circle it says color the circles with the letter B in it. And then they can, and this one says color the image that starts with the letter B. So like I said, these are just fun, easy worksheets that I was already having to piece together. And some of these worksheets and stuff I didn't care for either because they didn't all look the same for the letters. So for example, I wanted worksheets with a J that had a top line on it, and some of these worksheets didn't have it. And personally, I just felt like that was confusing to have J's without the line on top because everything else has that, and when she starts to write, I want her to write it with the line on top. So it's just little things, and it's nice because these are already set up for me, and the letters were kind of how I wanted it set up for her to learn in that way as well. She also has these little cards that I plan to laminate, but these have little pictures on them, and then there's letters on the bottom. So the child would take a clothespin or something and pinch what letter it would, the letter that it starts with. So for a yo-yo, they would clip a little paper clip or a clothespin there for the letter Y. And then there's L for lion. And then she also has them for the letters as well. So matching the uppercase with the lowercase letters. Like I said, I plan on laminating these. I am a big fan of laminating, and that having it all prepared so it's ready and go, not only so that it makes it easy the day of, but so I can reuse it and not have to do so much work for the next child. So I really like that game. I also really appreciated that it came with calendar work and stuff sheets that were all set up, because I can stick those in our morning menu. She also has pretend play activities and recommendations for you on there as well, which I really did appreciate, because I can set up those activities up front for my child to do, and that could be something that can help occupy her. That is a nice, fun, new thing while I'm doing school with my oldest. Also has games and book recommendations that help with whatever that you are going through at that time. So each week she has a list of books that you could check out from the library for that letter, which I also really appreciated, because all of those little things really add up in that mental space that I need to be worried about or focus on. And I like it when it's all listed out like that, especially since we do Build Your Library, which is a literature heavy curriculum. A lot of those books we end up getting from our library. So I'm already in the habit that once a week I go onto our library websites and I put on hold for all the books that I need in the next coming weeks, so I could just go through and do those things. Some of these books I already have on our own bookshelves, which is nice because, like I said, I felt like I was piecing things together from all these different resources, and it was really hard for me to feel like I could stay on top of everything. So for example, for our pre-reading, if we were doing the letter A, I would set up that worksheet from the pre-reading. I would have the poem or the story that went along with that letter that came with that curriculum, and then there's a little flashcard rhyming game that comes with it. We would also go through the alphabet song on the poster, but then I would have to print extra worksheets for our morning menu to help solidify those concepts. I would have to come up with a game to try to go with that letter. So maybe I would say the sound of a letter and I would throw a puppet at her, these little foam puppets that she likes to play catch with. I would throw it at her and she would have to catch it only if I said the correct sound. I would also maybe have to get like our alligator book or an ABC book off of our bookshelf to read to her to kind of help with that. And I felt like every week I was having to do that, and it was hard to keep up, especially having the toddler and my oldest. So this has cleared up so much space in my brain so I don't have to worry about any of this stuff. So I really, really did like this, and the flip through, it's everything that I wanted. There's way more resources, like I said, than what I went over. These are just the ones that I know for sure we're going to use for this next school year. I will link the Waldock Ways website down below. She has tons of resources. She has one child that she homeschools who's in middle school, I believe. So she has a lot of resources for older children, but I can certainly see us using more of the Waldock Ways resources in the future. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of videos you like to see on this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're doing for this next school year or resources that you are using. Hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos, and it helps support my channel, and I can't wait to catch you guys next time. Bye.